Hello. The golf club that is hosting your tournament will have sent you an email that looks a little something like this. In the body of the email, you will see pictures of what the phone app looks like for scoring and what the scoreboard, a sample of what the scoreboard will look like. I want to give you a little bit more detailed information on how the scoring works and how to enter in your players. So in the body of the email, there will be a link where you'll click to enter your players. I'll go ahead and click on that now. There'll be a film strip where you can upload your logos. You simply browse your computer and upload a logo. It takes JPEG or PNG files, and this is what those logos will look like on the phone. And here, you'll click to enter your players. I have created a small sample tournament, and I've already put in 6 teams. So this is going to be our little example. So you will have provided a team name and the name of the players, and really that's all that we need. We don't need the cell phone. We don't need email. We don't even need to know the gender for most tournaments. So with that information, the morning of, this would be the scoreboard for that tournament. So we have the Anadarko team on North 1. We have Halliburton, Seadrill, Stella Maris, Cameron, and NOV. We're going to have a long drive, a putting contest, which we did before the tournament. We already know who the winner is, and we've got that up on the board. And now during registration, we're going to be using a computer tablet to check in the teams. So, for example, let's have the Anadarko team. So Fred Clifford's on that team. I say, good morning, sir. What is your last name? My last name is Clifford. I click C. I have one team with the name C, and I have 4 players whose last name begins with C. I have 2 Cliffords. Are you Fred or David? I'm Fred Clifford. So we click on Fred Clifford. Do you have any changes on the team? Let's say yes. Lindy was not able to make it. It's going to be Frank Smith. So basically what we're doing here is we're updating the information. As you can see, the television has already updated. The scoreboard is now Frank Smith. If we're doing handicaps, we'll ask for the player handicaps. If we're not doing a handicap event, then we won't ask. And then we will set up one player on the team to do the scoring. And we typically do that with this barcode right here. All that they would do is open their cell phone, open the camera, and point the camera at this box, and it immediately will open up and look like so, where we have our logos. Now let me show you what this looks like so at the end of registration, we will have sent out, and this is my little simulation of the 6 teams that are represented here. So let's make this a little bit bigger, and we can kind of watch what happens. So we have Anadarko on the first hole. Yes, they're on the first hole, and let's say that they par their first hole. And as we can see, that they're now in the process of scoring. They have a 4 on the first hole, which was par. Now let's look at Halliburton. So let's say Halliburton, who's on 14. Let's say they had a birdie. So they'll record their birdie. Their birdie will appear on the board. They'll move into first place. So Seadrill, let's say Seadrill had a rough start, and they're going to start out with a bogey. They'll save it. It will go to the scoreboard. They'll advance to the next hole. And all of this is just happening automatically. We'll go through and put a few scores. So let's give a birdie here. NOV needs to score something. We'll give them a par. We'll put Cameron in. Let's say Cameron gets an eagle. Really good start. So everyone at this point has now played their first hole. The scores are all in order. We can see on the board what everybody scored. We have a red circle around this eagle. We have a green circle around this birdie. And we have our logos scrolling across the top. And we have our logos cycling through on the scores page. When on the phones, when the players turn their scorecard sideways, which I can simulate by changing this window size, they see their scorecard, and as you can see, that they've played this hole and they've got a birdie on it, and then they just rotate their phone back, which I will simulate by resizing the browser up like so, and boom. So, and then they just proceed. It defaults to par at that point. So let's just say they had he's going to have a par. He's going to have a birdie. Ah, yes. Now you'll notice we have a closest to the pin contest on 2. Anadarko just played the second hole, so it's going to ask them, were you closest to the pin? And let's say that, for instance, they were. So who hit the shot? Let's say it was Sherry. So Sherry Johnson hit the shot for Anadarko and is now closest to the pin. We're going to give a birdie here. We'll give a little bogey there. So as the tournament progresses, in the clubhouse, we can see everything that's going on. We see how they're progressing. We can check the pace of play. As I like to say, we know when the people are going to come in. We know who's won before they come in. We know the banquet department knows when to start getting food ready. As I like to say, we will have hot food and cold drinks instead of the other way around because we're able to monitor the pace of play and activity. And we don't have to wait all day for our drawings, and the players really find it exciting. And this is how it works.